Good evening. Good evening, citizens and invaders and fans of Darth Vader. Luke, I am not your father. I was just kidding. Hi there. Saturday night, Saturday, Saturday. And we are live across who knows how far we go out, maybe past the globe or Earth, whichever you believe. Um, who knows where we're being heard? I'd like to know, if you're new, especially where you are watching from. My name is Jack Willard, and I cordially welcome you. We already have Elaine Peterson. Hello, Jack and family. And Stephen Spielich is here. Nice to see you, Stephen Spielich. Welcome. Karen Phillips, right in the rotation where I would expect to find you. Hi there, Karen Phillips. Where are you from? Where are you from, Karen? Where are you watching right this moment? Hi, Jack and everyone. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Judy Wright in Georgia, where I bet it's already hot there. It's getting hot here. We're coming in at 72, and we're going to be going into the inferno. By Wednesday, we could be in the 90s. So it'll go from running heat to running air conditioner in the course of a week. Let's see here. M.M. Staten, possibly David. Good evening, Jack. Hello. Detective Miles Wright. That's what he does in his retirement. He follows people around with a notepad and some listening devices and X-ray specs. Remember those X-ray specs? I think they were just an optical illusion. It even said that in the ad in the very fine print. Oh, okay. Guilderland, New York. I've never heard of Guilderland, New York. Is it on the island, perhaps? Sounds like it would be. So you're not from someplace near the state of Texas. Okay. Hi, Jack and all from Australia, says Helen. Hello there. Tammy with an I. Hello, Jack. Hi, Elaine. We already have 21 watching and 5 likes, and I haven't done anything yet, but people like to be here on Worldwide Ramblings. Got a potpourri of topics, your reaction to our last video. Did Willina call Bob Joyce Elvis? That's our biggest live show in, a month or two at least. A month or two at least, coming in right now at about 2,300 views. Oh, I like that sound. Someone could be extending me a blessing, and that's always helpful. That's always helpful. And Darlene Koberstein back on alive. That's good. Hi, Jack. And also we'll be talking about that. We'll have a little comedy from Jeremy Culhane, who is single-handedly saving Saturday Night Live. Got new people watching because of his impression of Tucker Carlson. We still love Tucker. We're disappointed, but we still love him. I do anyway. Speak for yourself, Jack. And let's see here. Who's that handsome man on my microphone? That be Pastor Bob Joyce. Yes, yes, yes. You see those 11,400 subscribers? He's responsible for many of them. Might as well be honest. Tell the truth. Here's somebody new. It looks like tomato sangria, but that can't be right. Good evening from Chicago South Side. Whoa. What's life on Chicago South Side? You say that with sunglasses, so you're a mystery person. We've got our eye on you. It's not as easy as sangria, is it? No. So I'm not sure. Frank Glover, there's a name we have heard before. Listening from Watkins Glen, New York. Yes, I think Karen and her family used to go to Watkins Glen. I'm trying to remember how far that is from here. What is that near, Frank Glover? Um, I confuse several places like the Black Forest and Spring Glen. That's the place I'm thinking about. Spring Glen. But you're in Watkins Glen. Not that I haven't heard that. Um, I have. The way I've got the camera angled tonight, it's like a Batman 1968 with Adam West. I think we're on a tilt, but we can see the things I wanted you to see, and not the things I don't. Oh, what does that mean? Let's see here. Um, yeah, I'm very curious about what your experience is on Chicago's South Side, near Elmira and Ithaca, so not the island. Okay, I've been to Elmira, but I've never been to me. I've never been to me. Um, Seems like when I used to take the bus up to Dunkirk, I would go through Elmira. I know I went through Corning, New York, and Horseheads. Horseheads was very small. You sneeze, you'll miss it. Corning, they got a factory there. Anybody want to guess what they make in that factory? Yeah, okay. So, and so how far would that be from Syracuse, I wonder? Elmira. That I was definitely through. I remember that. Hey, Tomas. I'm from Mount Greenwood neighborhood, the Mount Greenwood neighborhood, but we got out 10 years ago. Yeah, there you go. See, you're meeting someone that has walked the same turf or close by as you have. Huh. Huh. Tucker will be here tonight, or a very good impression of him. Just a fair use clip. That's all we can do. Tammy missed the last live. That's true. That's okay, Tammy. You know, you can't be 100%. Katina Swatsworth is here. Hello, Jack and family. How are you? How's things in the great state of Pennsylvania? I love it. I love it. I love it. Not going to Wilkes-Barre tomorrow, but going to Clark, New Jersey. Clark, New Jersey, yes. To see the Polka King down there with my good friend Polka Sean. Here we are in Wilkes-Barre on April 11th, I think it was. Polka Norma, his wife, will be driving, and we're all going in a van to Clark, New Jersey. I was there last year at about the same time, and it was wonderful. The camaraderie there, strong Polish community. So Jimmy will do more Polish music than he normally would, but don't think he won't rock and roll. He will. He will country you too. He might tell us to climb aboard the wagon wheel. Yes, yes, yes. That'll be Frankie Herbanowitz singing that song. Frankie Daigle Herbanowitz, and then Vinny, who plays brass, he plays the trumpet. He might come up and sing "All My Exes Are from Texas." He might do that one. You never know. So if you're anywhere near Clark, New Jersey, and you're seeing this live or soon after live, if you're going to be near Clark, New Jersey on the 17th, show starts at 2 p.m. Doors open at 1. They have Polish food, nice desserts, as I remember, as well. Alcohol, in case you want some alcohol. We can't let Katina have it all, you know what I mean? And Jackie Organ joins us from Australia, too. She's earlier than usual. Hi, Jack and everyone. We don't have Neo yet. He'll come in, though. You know he will. And that brings us up to 36 people. Hopefully we'll hear from the Grand Patriarch tonight, and we'll give you an update on his surgery. We went to Waterford, New York in 1958. Wow. I was in my playpen, basically, in 1958. David State? Not Candy State and Suswell, as I usually say. So you may be a little older than me because you wouldn't remember going to Waterford in 1958. I was in the Bronx, though. I was in the Bronx in 1958, um, asking to go to Yankee Stadium, and they said, "You're just too young." We moved up here to the Hudson Valley of New York in 1959. We also lived for a while in Mayapack, New York, to my father's first wife, knocked on the door. Then we were in Montreal, Canada. It's a long story. 6 months in Montreal, Canada. Beautiful, beautiful area. Um, Something life altering happened in a sense there to me. I've talked about that a little bit. And then back to, well, really the town of Wallkill in time to meet Karen Reed in second grade in the fall of 1965. I think those dates are correct. I live in Watkins and had to drive an hour and a half to work in Syracuse. Okay. So do you know Al Piakowski? You should come see Al, meet him from Syracuse, New York tomorrow down in Clark, New Jersey. He is he is the accordion player. He can play the button box too. Same kind of thing, but the accordion can do more than the button box, but the button box is an incredible instrument as well. So Al will be down there. He has to, he's going from, well, he'll go from Syracuse to Jimmy Sturr's house in the village of Florida, New York, and he'll get on the big bus, the big Jimmy Sturr bus. But yeah, he's the guy who's got the longest, I think, to travel when he does the gigs. Uh, Imagine he finishes in Clark, New Jersey at 6 o'clock. They got to pack up all their instruments, get aboard the bus. By the time he gets back, it's after 8 o'clock at night. I mean, to Jimmy's house. And then he's got to drive to Syracuse. So he plays with many other bands too. He plays up in Buffalo during Dingus Day and things like that. We all love Al Piakowski. If you want to see what he looks like, go to my Jimmy Sturr video from 4/11/26 live at the casino in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and you'll see Al in action. Incredible talent. My aunt used to work at Corning Glassware in the 60s and early 70s in Corning, New York, right? Yes, it's right there on the main drag. You can't miss the factory. That's very cool. Well, I worked in Dunkirk. Well, I actually worked in Fredonia, lived in Dunkirk, got my first job in radio in 1977 at WBUZ, the sound of the country at 1570, with some great people like Nick Syracuse. Hey, that's funny, right? Nick Syracuse, the morning man. Well, before that, it was Johnny something or other. I can't pull that out of my head. He was very good. And then in came Nick Syracuse, who was like the weekend guy. Nick was extremely funny, very funny. And then Mike Miller in the midday and me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, living in Dunkirk. And I tried to get a job in Jamestown to follow that up with, but that didn't work because they could see that my production skills were not up to snuff. And that's very important in small stations where they need everybody to be very proficient in the recording of commercials and making really cool commercials. And that wasn't me. And I seemed determined throughout my life to keep it that way. Oh, self-fulfilling prophecies. They've dogged me. They have. Who is Oak? Who is Oak? Oak? Katina has second sight, so she sees things we don't see. It's a gift from God. I want to make that clear. It's a gift from God. She can foretell things. She doesn't do it by palm reading. Didn't say that. My grandfather was a staff sergeant in the Army, World War II. Now he's buried at the Veterans Cemetery in Bath, New York. I've passed Bath for some reason on the highway, but never went into Bath. I have taken many baths, but I don't take them in this house. That's why it's such a wonderful thing when we are on the road traveling to stay at a hotel. In fact, Polka Sean And Poconorma, when they were, uh, maybe it was Aruba. They took the Jimmy Sturr cruise in January. That's way out of my budget. Always has been for 30, 40 years, whatever. Um, but they're on staff, see? So they go for free, but they have to pay expenses and stuff like that. It adds up, you know. But they were somewhere where they got bath salts. And then I got to fly back with those bath salts. Somebody might know where I'm going with this. So they get up to the guy there at the checkout point, the check you out point, and they are scanning the bags, and they think they see bath salts. Bath salts are used in the making of explosives, if you didn't know that. So they say somehow they still got to keep the bath salts, because if they took the bath salts, they would have been stealing the bath salts intended for Karen and I, and some other people too, I imagine. Not that we're going to take a bath together or anything like that. We're not kinky. We're not. This is not Woodstock, and we're all swimming in our birthday suits in a muddy lake. Indian Lake, it's a wonderful place where the kids can go. I'm butchering the lyrics to the Cow Seal, so we're going to see in June. Nancy DeMarco has joined us. Hello, Jack and all. Welcome to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you aboard. Brings us up to 44. You must have brought some people with you, Nancy, from Oklahoma. Tornadoes behaving themselves, I hope. I hope. I heard, Nancy, that it's going to be a bad season next time, and it's going to be an extended season, probably in Florida, and probably all the way to you. I don't know. Who knows how far it'll come out? You don't know. But I did hear that. My dad's mother was Seneca Iroquois, and his dad was a white European, so my dad was half and half. Well, I enjoy half and half. I put it in my tea. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do put half and half in my tea. What I do is put some organic 2% milk in. It's only $1 more or so, especially for the ShopRite brand of the organic milk, and it tastes so much better, and it lasts longer. You know, I don't know how many times we've bought 2% milk from ShopRite, their brand, and it didn't even make it to the date, and it was sour, you know. So that means you got to be 85 years old to still drink it, and I'm not yet. I'm not. Or you could be Andy. So the first thing I learned about in history class in 7th grade, after I got expelled from Catholic school, and here I am at Veraldi Junior High School, was about the Iroquois Indians. I remember that was like the first lesson. We're learning about the Iroquois Indians, and sadly, of course, like 7th grade Spanish. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. ¿Cómo está usted? Me llamo Juan Willard. I guess Willard would be the same, right? Juan Willard. That's about it. That's about all I can remember. You know, I can't think of any naughty names like puta. I can't think of them. So, yeah. And math, of course, I just told myself I couldn't learn that crap. I knew I would never need it in my life. And I'm right. I never needed it in my life. So, you know, my math grades were abysmal. Am I saying that right? Abysmal. I flunked freshman Spanish. Yeah, well, I probably did too. I can't imagine that I applied myself. Had a very nice Spanish teacher. Can't remember. I know Mr. Miller was the science teacher. He passed away. What a wonderful man. Karen and I met him, I'd say around 2014 at the art studio in Montgomery, New York. The gentleman next door, who's a master gardener as well, is a wonderful painter, a wonderful artist, and he had his paintings on display at this open house thing. And I walked in there, and there was Mr. Miller, and his son. And I had to go up to him because I had such fond memories of Mr. Miller. Now, I'm saying history. That's not correct. Um, must have been science. Must have been science because Mr. Smith was the history teacher, right? I'm thinking so. So I walked up to him, and his son was there, and I just turned to his son at some point, and I said, "I just want to tell you your father was a wonderful teacher. Oh, seemed right away to me to be a wonderful man." And he says, "You can't believe how many times people come up to us and say the same thing, and it's always nice to hear." So that's cool, right? That's cool. Jupiter's realm, we're going to find out a little bit more of what realm she actually lives in, what her realm is like. Who else is in her realm? There were 32 students in my graduating class. So is that bad or good? They're claiming here the mayor in our sanctuary city is saying, "Oh well, he's telling you who to vote for on the school board, telling you who to vote for." And I guarantee you, they're all liberal. And he's saying, the mayor, and I know what this is code for. So let's not focus on negativity, like whether a boy can waltz into your teenager's a female teenager's bathroom. Let's not focus on that. I'm not saying that's for sure. This is what I have an opinion it could be. Don't focus on that. These liberals here that are probably progressives. Oh, I can't get into politics now. It's too early. But he's telling you who to vote for, you know? So, and what the heck is, you tell me, people in their 70s, why are they paying school taxes? If that is an abomination, I don't know what is, especially seniors under, say, $100,000 a year, you know. Come on, man. Come on, man. Take your house away if you don't pay them. Take your house away. Some of the terrible things that we should have worked out by now and stopped. And I know many states don't have that. I'd like to live in one of those states. I would. I'd like to live in the free state of Florida, but I don't want to be there now. I want two homes. I want Wells, Maine, and hmm, I like Port St. Lucie. I don't want Miami. I into the partying in the clubs. I'm going to go down to the club. I'm not going to do that. I used to. Tracy by the Cufflinks. Tracy Shetley is here. Hello, Jack and everyone. Welcome. We'll do a little content in just a little bit. So if you're looking for content, I will write what time in the replay description we start. All right. I'll have my shappy and my my paper ready to write some important things as they happen on the show tonight. Elaine Peterson, you're here, but you're not all there. But you're very loyal, and you're a supporter, and you're an encourager, and you're just sweet, as long as you don't have too many brandies. On Dark Shadows, they're always saying, "Would you like a brandy or sherry?" And if it's really a big occasion, champagne, But it's all fake. I like to say that those actors on Dark Shadows drank a whole lot of cold tea. Can't say iced tea. Someone said it's not iced tea if it's warm. Well, yes and no, If you make it from an iced tea jug, like Lipton or whatever, it's sort of iced tea, but it's warm and there's no ice in it. So they used to drink a lot of that. That was their solution, it seems, for many things. Have a brandy. I've never had brandy in my life. Rita, hi, Jack and everyone. I didn't even realize it was almost 8:30. Also, you're in the central time zone. I see. I live in East Tennessee. Almost makes me want to sing that Jerry Reed song, Eastbound and Down, for some reason. Loaded up and trucking. We're going to do what they say can't be done. Got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Jerry Reed, we really loved you so. We did love you, Jerry, both as a recording artist. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. What do you mean, 90 days, Sheriff? Who's going to pay for my Cadillac? Collect my welfare. Jerry Reed. He was a hoot. And of course, the people who wrote the Smokey and the Bandit movies deserve some credit too. So East Tennessee, I'm not just sure how far is where you live from Sale Creek, Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains. Oh, they're making moonshine up there. You know they are, Frank Glover. I know some of my, I've been watching the Moonshiners show since the beginning, and they just finished season 16. I think it was 16. I don't know if there'll be a 17 yet. They did some good shows, especially at the end of this season. I've never had a sip of moonshine in my life. I find it too strong, I think. But I love those people on Moonshiners. They put on a really good show, whether it's 100% real or not. No reality. Here's a headline: no reality show is 100% real. It just doesn't work that way. It's got to be entertaining. So you got a director, you got a producer standing there, and they say something, and they say, "Oh, cut. What if you said it this way, or put a little more emphasis on this word?" So when Josh from Moonshiners has got a truck full of watermelons on this, it's not a very secure uh, flatbed. There's like cheap wood around it or something, and the watermelons start to fall onto the road, and there's all of a sudden open watermelons everywhere. I said, well, they probably staged that because they needed it. And I totally understand that. You got to have drama, you got to have funny stuff. And so, I expect that. So I don't, say, well, let's see if that really happened. Did they really intend for that to happen or not intend for that to happen? I don't know. I'm just babbling at this point. Sale Creek is near Chattanooga and the Choo Choo. I see. So you know your geography, Miles, or you got a globe, unless you looked it up in your GPS. I live in Greenville, Tennessee, Frank says. Okay. Well, it's just a great area. So how far are you from Nashville, Frank Lover? And who else? I live near Newport, says Tracy Shetley. I live near Newport, Tennessee, where Mark and Digger are from. Oh, wow. They do a number of appearances, and I always say how I would love to go and meet them. They don't always do, but they do the Tennessee appearances for sure. So, yeah, I've been watching Mark and Digger forever. Love them both. It's hard to explain. It's like trying to explain being a fanatic of Dark Shadows and Mr. Barnabas Collins from the 1966 to 1971 series. If you don't watch it, you'll think it, be darker than it really is, and that kind of thing. TS is here. Spencer for hire. Hi, Jack and all. Been diagnosed with, when I see this, my heart starts to quiver. Because I know you're working hard. RSVP. So down tonight. I have to look that up. To me, it sounds like you're, reserving, you're an important person reserving a space at something. RSV. It's not like I haven't heard it, but it's not coming to mind as to what it is because I don't know if I've known anybody with it, We'll look that up and tell the audience, but you're, of course, free to talk about it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, even though I don't really know what it is yet. But I'll be back. Blessings to all. Thank you. Do I have your? I do have your email, TS. If not, please shoot me an email. So I do. Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR. Jack the Fair Guy. Oh, I love that sound. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Jack the FAIR guy at gmail.com. I want to be able to talk back and forth with you. So please do that. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think I do have someone's email and it turns out I don't. Like I don't have Marty Greco's. Couldn't find that. And he's just gone. Where are you, Marty? I'm in West Tennessee, Henderson County, which is 2 hours west of Nashville and 2 hours east of Memphis. I see. Well, you want to keep watching this show. Maybe next Saturday night, guys. That's all I can say. You definitely want to be listening, because the window of opportunity will go fast. Very, very fast. That's all I can say. Nashville is 3 to 4 hours away, but drivable. A lot closer than me, Frank Lover. Can't say any more about that at this time. But he did say, I met Digger from Moonshiners. He was shopping at my wife's store where she works at Ollie's. Oh, we have an Ollie's here. Good stuff, cheap. Good stuff, cheap. They keep screaming that at you as you're shopping in the store. Good stuff, cheap. Oh, I love Ollie's. I love Ollie's. But yet I hardly go there anymore. We get their flyer every week, and I'm always looking for something. But we got small quarters here. It's a duplex, um, and there's no more room to put stuff. There's just no more room. Brad's got the downstairs with his instruments he played today. So at around 11:15 this morning, the crashing of the drums going out the door. I don't think he's brought them back, so they'll be crashing in at some point. He's had these drums for well over 30 years, same drums. So, yeah, you Tennessee people. Jack, I really do love PA. So do I, Elaine. I do. But what do you think about the state of Washington, where you live? Judy and I live 45 miles from Sale Creek, okay? So that would make you closer to Nashville than Sale Creek would be, or further away. Respiratory infection. Okay, but that's curable, right, TS? Respiratory infection? I thought it was something potentially more serious than that would not go away with antibiotics and stuff like that. So you just feel lousy, and I'm very sorry about that, but that's curable, right? They're hitting that with the good stuff, are they? What else? Yeah, I would love to meet Mark and Digger and Tickle. And what's her name is starting her own distillery now, the beautiful redhead, Amanda. Her. She's starting her own. She didn't get many episodes this year of Moonshiners because the storyline was that Mark and Digger had to go on the down low. They couldn't have a team anymore, so they had to do their own stuff independently. So she only got like 4 episodes where she was in it all. It was not her season to shine with some of the stuff that she can do. Amanda, I follow her and everything. And then, of course, we have Kenny Law. His brother passed away, so last season was his season. Well, now it's the season before. He passed away. Wasn't that old either. I think he was a year or so younger than me. He looked older, but it's so funny. Karen had her procedure on Thursday, injections, lower back injections, which they need anesthesia for. And it goes like clockwork, it's boom, boom, boom. There are a lot of people in there, but boy, they don't take long, It wasn't long before she was handing me her pocketbook and her other bag that she had, and she kissed, and she was off to her procedure. And it wasn't really that long before she was back. But coming up, there was this older looking gentleman. I'm having this experience now. He had a cane, but not necessarily because, he was feeble, but, something had happened to him. And we were going up the elevator, and I don't know how I brought up the topic, but I said, I figured he was about 75, something like that. And I said, I just turned 70 in March. He said, oh, really? I'm 3 years younger than you. I'm 67. Those experiences now. This old guy can't be younger than me. I sure look a lot younger than him, I can tell you that. But, I have my tricks. Jimmy Sturr does not look the age that he is. He looks great still. Um, Engelbert. Have you seen the new Engelbert? Just turned 90 years old. 90 years old. He's lost about 35 pounds, maybe. He was getting pretty chunky. I don't know when he had the time since I've seen him because he does this Tuesday Muse Day on Tuesdays, if he can. Sometimes Tuesday Muse Day is on Wednesday. Just like Waters sometimes does DEI Thursday on Friday. Um, so I haven't seen Engelbert in a little while, but he's been touring the world. And he looks fantastic. He does not look all that much different than he looked in 1967, 68, when, and of course, he's dyeing his hair a beautiful color of brown. For a while, he didn't get the hair color right. That hurt him. But it's just phenomenal that he looks like he does at 90 years old. He had tragedy. His wife passed away and what have you a few years back. But I'd see him in concert if I could. Popcorn was the real deal, and Moonshiners, he made the best. I guess I certainly know who you're talking about. Salty Mouth, that Popcorn. But he is a moonshiner legend that they often refer to. And then there's the other guy who looks kind of like Popcorn. He's only on once in a while. But Popcorn Sutton, that's what I was calling one of the members of Household of Faith, who I guess doesn't go there anymore. I was calling him Popcorn Sutton for a while. But they show old footage of Popcorn. And one of the episodes a few years back, they found where he had hidden moonshine, and they got it and they brought it to his wife, who lives in a very modest house. And they gave that to her for her to sell because she needed the money. Mark and Digger did. So that was really cool. I have a Moonshiners tribute video up here. It's not much, but it's something that you could find in my list of 377 videos or whatever it is by now. I met Tim from Moonshiners at a liquor store in Bristol, Tennessee. He was promoting his Climax moonshine. Right. This season, the big thing was he was going back to illegal, supposedly. Who knows what they're really doing. But he was going back to the illegal because the tax was so high. His profit, when all was said and done, for the moonshine that's in the liquor store was under $1 a jar, his profit margin. So he knew that he could make money. And there was a client that he had interested in, I think, Montreal, Canada. Unless they're throwing you off and giving you the wrong, because it just seems like they're already giving you too much information. But he could make, moonshine in the woods or whatever and sell that at a premium rate to a guy who had a small airplane. Imagine, though, how do you, I know that they don't go through the standard checkpoint, but at some point, air marshals can come onto their plane and see what's going on. So you just never know what you're seeing. Robin Roman is here. Hey there, Jack and family. Hi, Robin Roman. I thought you were in Arkansas, and it turns out you're not in Arkansas. So you learn something new all the time. So look at this. Tracy is real close, I guess, huh? That's nice. We're a family here. Some of us, though, are in Australia. Some of us are in Canada. Do I have any Canada people here? How about Florida? I know we don't have Richard Lyon yet. He said he would check in, so we'll see. Old homes do not have big closets. That's true of duplexes. I have the biggest room in the house and the biggest closet in the house. Now that you mention it, I do, by far. Because this was Karen's parents' room. And not that they bought the house originally. They bought it from somebody else. And it leads up to the attic. So I've got like 3 different bars to hang my clothes on, and I need it. You finally get to the point where you say, I got enough. I'm 70 years old. Let's just be real. The only exception would be YouTube shirts. If I find something, Karen will point one out. So, oh, there's a YouTube shirt over there. I wonder if they got it in 3X. See, the only reason I need 3X is because I regularly work out at uh, Crunch Fitness, and my biceps and stuff bulge and my abs bulge. I'm only on Ozempic because of the benefit to my triglycerides. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's the ticket. And my wife, Morgan Fairchild, could verify all this. You know who I'm doing. If you watch Saturday Night Live back in the day, we're going to play you Jeremy Culhane doing Tucker, which is breathing new life into Saturday Night Live. Well, here he is, late, and he won't have a pass. Good evening, Neil. It's fine. We'll do a 2-hour show at least tonight. My husband and I sat front and center at Engelbert's concert. Engelbert gave me his only scarf. Oh, that's a cool story. Yeah, how long ago was that? I can't believe what he looks like now, Robin. It's just phenomenal. He's like at his best weight, almost the weight that he would have had when he sang, when he went into the studio, when he went into the studio to record Release Me and Am I That Easy to Forget, those early hits, Yeah. So they wanted they had somebody cancel from this really big show, and it was very last minute, but people knew of this new guy named Engelbert Humperdinck, and they had seen him. And they said to the producer, they said, you should try this Engelbert Humperdinck. He's got a record out, and it's going to be big. It just come out. And the guy said, you want me to put on this show some new guy named Engelbert Humperdinck? That sounds like a made-up name, and of course, it is a made-up name. He wanted to make sure you would never forget his name. I think he succeeded in that. But anyway, they put him on, and he sang Release Me, and it was crazy go nuts after that. They wanted him back. When can we have this guy back? The audience, of course, loved that song. And some female, who did the female response to I Release You, and I plan to take half or more of everything you got. It's only fair. We've been married 2 years. I'm reminded of the story of Andre Agassi, and what was his wife's name? Brooke Shields. Anybody heard of her? Brooke Shields got half. They were married for 2 freaking years. Give me a break. Give me a break. So if there was any decline or worry about Brooke's finances, it was all erased after that. I still wear a 3230. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm a 30, but I'm not a 32. I'm a little higher than that. Let's just say that. But it might have the number 2 in it. Well, I don't need a 2 at the end. I could have a 0. Or maybe even a 8. But I just like having a belt where I have to say, Andy, can you put more holes in my belt at the wood shop? Can you put some more holes in my leather belt? And he goes out there, boom, 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 and hands me the belt back, It's great when you're 70. People do stuff for you. They help you out, and you don't even have to ask. Oh, well, he can't do that. He doesn't know anything about that. He doesn't understand. Okay. I don't mind. In certain situations, I don't mind that. Something about oceanfront property in Arizona. Yeah, there's so much of it, isn't there? I mean, when Molly B, who's the queen of polka, there's nobody even close, but there's not too many. I haven't heard Barefoot Becky. Check her out. I hear she's very good, and she's a friend of Molly B. Molly Busta, and that's it. There's no last name anymore. That's gone, sadly. But they do the cruise. Molly B will do the cruise, and this January will be the last cruise she will do with her partner of many, many years, Ted Lang, who's an incredible singer and accordion player. But he announced at the Polka Weekend, which I didn't attend this year, it really wasn't in the budget. Um, so I missed the first one in 8 years. He announced that this coming January, when they do the cruise, that will be the last gig that he will do with the group is Squeezebox. That'll be the last. And Molly just had to stand there, not knowing which way to look. But she already knew that. She already knew that. So that's sad. You look great, Jack. Well, fine. Thank you. I don't know why I said fine. Well, fine. Fine. Go ahead and say that, Katina and the Waves. How are the Waves, by the way? We never talk about them. Thank you. Tracy, Frank is talking to Tracy. So I'll put in, I'm going to start a little bit of content just to start with your reaction. Munching on arugula from the garden. Doesn't take much to please you, does it? Forget that ice cream. I'll have some arugula. Well, it's very good for you, right? Frank, I get split screen ads. You do? You can't see me on the other side of the split screen, can you? It blocks you completely, doesn't it? I've never seen that. So that's all I know. Robin retracted her message. She thought better of it. Men lose weight easier than women. We gain it in the face and the belly, a lot of us, and we lose it in the butt, which is not good, you know? That's not good. Unless, you know, there are. If you're Chris Christie, you want to lose weight in the butt, don't you? You definitely do. The round mound of obnoxious sound. I used to like him, too. I used to like Chris Christie. Trump derangement syndrome will cause you to do crazy things. I don't know how many people have decided to entertain it that were very high profile and have destroyed their careers, basically. Or they found another audience in another realm. I talk about that in the Megyn Kelly video that I have up. Jack, men do lose faster than women. Well, I'm not just saying, yeah, I lose it, but it's so easy to gain it back, and it probably is for women too, right? You know, with Ozempic, when you first take the shot, say I take it on Thursday, that's where I am right now. If I miss a Thursday, then I'll be taking it every Friday. So, 2 days or 3 days, now maybe 2 days. The second day after taking the shot, you start to say, "Oh, there it is. I feel it, and I can resist. I can resist because it's not going to be that hard to do it, and I've got to do it." So, you know, I've lost 15 pounds already. I can lose more. And believe me, when I see Dr. Goodbye a couple of weeks from now, he'll be saying, you still got to lose more. You got to do more. You favor Chucky the doll. So I guess you're not going to be like the president of my fan club. You were here last week, weren't you? It's not that you're the first person to say that either. It could have been you, though. Who knows? So I got my eye on you, Buster Poindexter. Hot, hot, hot. I think I'm going to sneeze. Did someone sneak pepper into my microphone? Men don't have 10 pounds of boobs. Oh, some do. Some do. Chris Christie has a lovely pair. Chris Christie does. Pam Donnelly, non-stick Pam. I've been getting split screen ads also. You mean you can see me on half of the screen? Is that what you're saying? Or it's 2 ads you're seeing? I don't know. I kept getting commercials on a live video. You know, people do. Just talk to Neo. He'll tell you about, because he lets us know every time he's got them. Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them to the playback. And I notice usually The first time I watch myself, and I do, I might as well just tell the truth. I'm looking to critique so I can do a better performance. Sometimes I cringe. Sometimes I say, all right, all right, all right. Sometimes I say, well, that was good. This is bad. That was not good. Oh, I said something stupid. I said the wrong word and I didn't correct it. Oh, here's another biggie. I started a story, then went off. Maybe I looked at someone's comment and never went back to the story. So if you see me do that in real time, it won't work in the replay. I'll be honest with you. If you see me do that, say, Jack, you never finished that story about the time you kissed Sydney Sweeney, and I'll finish it. It won't be a true story, but it still be a story. Dirty, oh man. What is wrong with men? Oh boy, you think you would stop at 70? No. You got to fight it at 70 like you had to fight it at 16. You're 16, you're beautiful, and I'll be wearing an orange jumpsuit within a few weeks. Huh. Okay, finally, Jackie, someone answered my question. Thank you. I get split screen, also you and ad. Oh, that's interesting. That's new, and I like that. But you don't hear my voice, right? Because they want you to hear everybody says ad. So I'll say ad like it's a newspaper, a commercial. Yeah. Sandra Fair. My son-in-law is doing hypnotism to lose weight. Oh dear. So far, it seems to be working. He loves to eat. Is that a male hypnotist or a female hypnotist? Can anybody guess why I'm saying that? Let's see here. Yeah, that would make sense, Pam Donnelly. When I get split screen, I cannot hear you talking. Okay. Well, at least you still see my aging face. Yeah, I got a few guys that are older than me in my grieving group that are so perky and smiley, or smiley. Yeah. Tavis Smiley, is that who you're talking about? He doesn't have his PBS show. Not that we have PBS anymore. We have Sling, and I'd have to try hard to get the Channel 13 PBS, and you know what? I can do without it. The only thing I don't want to hear their liberal thought. It's not even liberal, it's progressive. There are great Democrats out there, or there were. What happened? Someone came in and stole your patty. We do want to steal your party, so we will. It's kind of a Beatles song from the 6th album. Jack, you have a woman on the other half of your screen. Oh? Who is that woman? She's not the evil woman. They're not showing Hillary, are they? Don't do that to me. Oh dear. What else? What else? I can't believe I haven't started content. And we're just about, well, I can tell you exactly I can tell you exactly if I look at the actual time. Where is it? It's 58 minutes and 14 seconds, 15 seconds, 16 seconds. Yeah. And I haven't started content. So I must start at the top of the hour. I must do something, because there's people say, you put a title there. I haven't got all night. I'm here for my Bob Joyce fix or whatever. And, or I want to hear Tucker or something like that. And, I'm waiting, and it's now 50. Now it says 53 minutes. What happened here? Did I mistake a 3 for an 8? I must have. 53:48. Okay. I'll believe that, I guess. Remember when the spa guy supposedly interviewed Bob Joyce at his house and said Bob is not Elvis? Well, okay, I have videos on that one. I made him mad and said, yes, it is Elvis, and you didn't even show his face, so we don't believe you. All right, let's talk about that a little bit, Frank. Yeah, he kept the camera down when he was there, but that was respectful. You want to have permission before you raise the camera. You don't want to ambush Pastor Bob Joyce, whether he is or he isn't. You know what I mean? So he kept the camera down. They say the fact that Pastor Bob came to the door is astonishing enough, and that it seemed to be, I think he said, a modest house, right? Well, um, I have one of my videos on that topic is I wonder if Spa Guy went to Robert Wayne Joyce's house, not Pastor Bob. You say, what are you saying? It's two people? I believe so. I've been saying this since 2018, and we go all through it. What's the verdict? That's about 200,000, 200 and not that far from not far from quarter of a million. Okay. Let's just put it that way. What if he went to the other Bob Joyce's door? The real one. Wait, I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. What if he went to his house, Because we've heard about two houses, one that's close to the church, especially the new church where they are now on Samples Road, and one that's two-story with a black gate around it in the Benton area. And we've talked about those things. I'll answer any questions, but I don't want to tell the whole story off the cuff. But, you can always ask me a question. Not that I'm the authority, but, obviously since 2018, I've learned a thing or two. So he said, he didn't ask him the question. He told him the answer. You're not Elvis, right? You're not Elvis, right? And we can't see Bob Joyce's face. And we hear him say, no, no, no. Then there's a pause, and it's like he's not happy with the answer he just gave. And he said, look, this is what it is. Something like that. The Lord gave me dreams to reach the whole world. Gave me dreams to reach the whole world. Your young men will see visions. Your old men, which he definitely is, will dream dreams, will dream dreams. So content really is starting at, say, 55 minutes in. From the tone of his voice, and we could never see his face, it was like he felt, I don't like what I just said. Let me try to explain this and say something without saying everything, That's how I took it. That's how I took it. And so that was pretty much it. The conversation was short, and he gave him the answer. And that's what Robert Wayne Joyce said. Now, Spa Guy did a good job when he went to, we know that when Elvis was said to have died, the day I started in radio in Fredonia, New York. Well, no, I didn't start in radio that way. I arrived in Dunkirk, and about 2 weeks later, I started my first radio job in Fredonia. But I was on the bus, probably passing Elmira, and going to Dunkirk, and somebody had a transistor radio, and there's a buzz on the bus. People were saying Elvis Presley died. And I was, of course, shocked, but not as shocked as I was going to be when I found out where I was going to be living in Dunkirk. I've told that story. I won't go into it all now. Not a good question, Elaine. I would reevaluate your reaction. And we've talked all about that. We talk about it. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with that. We've talked about that in the verdict. And we've got a video where we do an interview. We roll in. We got to do more rolling stuff. I realize we haven't in a while, and we'll be doing more rolling stuff. I'm pretty sure we will relatively soon. That's why I got Andy for. We stopped comments after you argue with him. Anyway, yeah, I know the video that I kind of liked is when Spa Guy went to the home of the one girl. There was a crazy guy, drunk too, I think, who deliberately near the viewing line at Graceland on the street with cops nearby swerved into three girls, killing two of them. Killing two of them. There are people, I've seen this in several reports, because Elvis saw all the sorrow that was going on and was thinking about calling the whole thing off. We've got into all the reasons he wanted to get out of this lifestyle, including leaving the country to spend months in a facility where he would be made well in mind, body, and spirit, because he had a number of issues going on: addiction to injectable legal prescription pain medicine. He had colon obstruction and more, and he needed to be made well. So there are those who say he was out of the country, maybe in Argentina, for 3 to 4 months. That was in the report from the reporter, a Memphis reporter, that he and his fellow reporters did a study. Anyway, these two ladies didn't make it. They both worked in the same department store. They both called in sick so they could go to the viewing line, and they were standing there near it when this guy swerved into them. So it was said in a report that Elvis was thinking about calling the whole thing off, and they said, well, with what has happened now, E, as they would have called him, E, you could possibly be charged as an accessory to vehicular manslaughter if you did that. You can't do it. You just can't do it. But there's so many things we could say about this story. Can't tell the whole story now. Email it to me there, or at least email me the link at jackthefairguy@gmail.com, the Presley Commission. So that, I guess we could put you in the category that he did fake his death. That doesn't necessarily lead to Bob Joyce, but if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, sings like a duck, does this with his ear like a duck, it's probably a duck. It's probably a duck. See, you're helping me out and you don't even intend to. Let's see here. So, Spa Guy went to the home of the one woman that did survive. And again, we don't see Spa Guy. He's camera shy. He's got a nice voice. And he sat down in her house and did an interview with her. And I thought that was pretty good. You can find it right here on YouTube. I think you can. Well, you're talking about American Trilogy, Rita. Yeah, that's a aha moment for a lot of people. Denton's nightclub in Benton, 2011. EPE, and that's Elvis Presley Enterprises certified Elvis impersonator Matthew Joyce was doing a show there. He's still doing them. He's out there doing shows. He would love to come to your area if he thinks they could make a go of it, you know. Some areas will be stronger than others. Well, look at that. Miles Wright hits the thanks button in beautiful taxi cab yellow for $9.99. You do that frequently, as does your wife. And thank you very, very much, Miles Wright. You see the ask button down there. Click on that and thanks button. You'll see it there for any amount, whether it be $1, $2, $5, or more. For those of you that have been really blessed, I would use Cash App. You know, those of you that I'm going to look at my email in a little bit, but right now we're doing content. But I thank you so much, Miles Wright. I hope others will join you for any amount. It helps me on a retirement that is lower than I thought. Unexpected things happened, more than one. And so that helps me tremendously. When I do any kind of a vacation, it is a cheap vacation, as cheap as I can make it. And so that's why I didn't do Polka Weekend this year. It killed me not to go there. I wanted to be there, but I didn't do it. And So, some things you can't say yes to when your income is struggling, and that's what it is. Um, so you got your own I've done a video saying he could be the son of Vernon or the son of Elvis. I have covered that. And so, you'll probably have other theories. I won't totally dispute what you're saying, though. So, and I won't necessarily react to everything you say, but, my email. I have no time for Neo's cleverness, Helen, because I usually, I forget what the heck I'm doing when I try to decipher Neo. He's not easy, and he doesn't come with any kind of, guide or anything like that. There's no study that I can look at. The mind of Neo. Hey, you, Andy, the door's open if you want to leave my bag of laundry there. They won't see you on camera. They won't. I thought I heard somebody. Maybe it's an assassin. Oh, dear. That could screw up my plans. We make our plans, and God just smiles. You didn't want the tracking enhanced license. That's how you refer to it. Well, you can still do it, but I think you have to pay $45 more each way, and they'll put you in the slow line. So show up 4 hours early. They will punish you, Elaine. They will punish you, and you won't like this type of punishment. I can tell you that. Praying for everyone, Katina says to, that probably means she's saying goodnight because it's 10 o'clock at The Rock, WKJL-FM, Middletown, New York. But she centers me back to a respectable place. That's good. So let's talk about your reaction to our last video. But there's been so many clicks going on here. I must go to my email. Karen sent me something about a local arrest from somebody we know. I can't talk about this, even though it was in the Facebook and everything. Somebody we know got arrested. We don't know them very well, but we've known them for years. Let's see here. I go to my Cash App record. I go to my Cash App, and Elaine Peterson, as she does every show, and never feel you have to, Elaine, from, formerly from Spain, now in the state of Washington, with one of the worst mayors in the country, in Seattle. It would be between her and the mayor of Chicago, and, well, I won't say any more. Well, obviously New York City's mayor, too. Boy, oh boy. Talk about, a barrel full of lemons. Of course, I like lemons, so that doesn't seem like the right analogy. So thank you, Elaine Peterson, for hitting the Cash App for $10. And I scroll down a little further, and here's Tammy with an I for the Texas trip. Thank you, Tammy with an I. $25 on the Cash App. She's also a very faithful giver, and I appreciate that, Tammy and Elaine, so much. Now, I'll write down my Cash App handle and then get right back to content, because the more the merrier. We're way under budget this month. We're starting to pick up, and there's still half a month left. So I'll give it my best. Yes, we will do a separate video talking about the King of Pop, but you'll get a preview here, and you may know about it already, because I know you people are, you're on the ball. You're on the ball. Now, I want what? I want the live stream. Of course I do. Yeah, I knew that meant Katina was going to exit for the night. She's got church early and what have you. So, put that right here. My Cash App handle is MediaGuy56. The number's 56. I was born in 1956. MediaGuy56. is my Cash App handle. I don't do this very often, but I'll say it because there are people that watch me that have been tremendously blessed, and if you have enjoyed me, whether you've been watching me since we first came on at the beginning of 2016 when I didn't have that big topic, we talked about Carlton Pearson. That got some hits and things like that. If someone comes through that attic door, I'll freak out. Probably someone coming in, listening for the stairs, because that could be my laundry. Or it could be Brad coming home, which is very possible. I don't have eyes in the back of my head, and I can't see through walls. I bought the X-ray specs, and they didn't work. Anyway, if you've been watching me for an extended period of time and enjoyed me, and you happen to have been blessed by God, and if you want to do a larger tip, because this is just a virtual tip jar. I'm not an organization. I'm not exempt. I pay tax on these tips. But then again, I don't. Thanks to President Donald Trump. No tax on tips up to $12,000. And I did not reach that threshold. Let me assure you, I did not reach that threshold in 2025. Nowhere near. But so there's no tax exemption, but no tax on tips applies to me. We didn't think it would, my tax lady and I, but when she investigated, it does. So that was a blessing. Thanks to Donald Trump, I didn't have to pay back half of my tips, to the federal government. So if you are one of those people and you'd like to help me out, that would be great. Cash App is the place for bigger donations. It really is. And that is Media Guy 56. Media Guy 56 is the handle for that. And I'll acknowledge you if you want to be acknowledged, or just your first name, whatever. And so that would be great. I know there are guys that have those people. Is it getting windy or something? This is starting to be like a horror movie, ladies and gentlemen. So Media Guy 56 on Cash App, and that would bless me tremendously. And there's more to it than I'm able to say right now. That's going to have expenses that are going to come out of my pocket. I'm hoping to be able to do that. I can't say any more right now, and I'm going through testing, and I'm going to have next week, I'm going to see my neurologist, and I'm going to have an MRI on Thursday, which they have to, since I have a defibrillator in my chest, the tech person from the company has to be there with the MRI tech. And to make sure that I'm not sucked up in like Aliens 3, sucked up to the top of the MRI machine. And the machine literally tries to pull my chest open with the defibrillator coming out, which could mean I wouldn't be on Saturday night next week. So there's a lot that I just can't say right now, but stay tuned. And, as soon as I get a release from other people, and then I know what's going on with my situation, that, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So let's go to that video that we put up Wednesday night, the live worldwide ramblings that we put up Wednesday night, which I should be seeing here. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So did Miss Wallina call Bob, Elvis, ? Hot mics with Billy Bush. That's his podcast, Hot Mics. We know why Billy would call his podcast Hot Mics. If you don't know, I'll remind you, but I'm pretty sure. So far, 50 comments. That's pretty good as of late anyway. Jay Pogera checked in just to give hugs. Nancy and in memoriam Terry Whitmore said, catching you on the replay. A lot of people do. Hello, replay crowd. You can hit the Cash App if you are blessed and want to. Never give if you can't afford it. And or the thanks button. If you can't find the thanks button on this video by hitting the ask button first, go to any other recent video and you'll find it there. It all goes into the same pot. So she says, wishing you and Karen a nice weekend. Well, tomorrow will be the real nice day. Today we just went to ShopRite. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. And then I was out there in the gazebo listening to the Polka Jammer Network. The Polka, that's not poker, that's Polka Jammer Network. I listened to the Saturday night Jimmy Stir Polka show, and you can hear that in the archives. You can hear the last three that he did, last 3 Saturdays. It is finally supposed to be warm up here in Maine. Yeah. Oh, we're hoping to see Maine this summer. We are. And believe me, we know how to do Maine cheap. We do. Kathleen Pickowitz. She hit the thanks button in a pre-recorded video for $2. Thank you. $2 is important too. Those that do that don't ever think it doesn't help. It does. It does. So I thanked her for that. Katina Swatsworth commented, great live. I just finished watching. I'm praying for everyone and getting surgery today. That referred to the Grand Patriarch, who's not here unless he just checked in. I can't see the screen if you are here, Richard, but I'll see it eventually in the live. I get hoarse. I talk so fast and so much. So she was praying for Richard and others that need prayer. You can always leave a prayer request here, either live or in the replay. Everyone's sick or in need. I have tendonitis in my right hand. It's improving. Thank Jesus. I don't believe that happened with Welina, talking about that she accidentally said the E word in the sanctuary when she didn't realize the mic was hot. Love to everyone. See, the point is that she, Katina, and another comment, probably in my email, said that she would be very skilled in not making a mistake like that. But of course, when you think you're having a private conversation in a corner or something, and there's no way they could possibly hear you, you might forget that his mic could be conceivably live, even though the church service hasn't started. It could be live, and that all those arriving early would hear you. And a lot of people arrive early because they don't want to be shut out. Nobody has told me yet, and I would love to know. Please comment if you have been there. Let me know if the church was full or if there were people that couldn't get in. And what do they do with the people? Do they bring them down to the old sanctuary, to the overflow room there? Because there is no overflow room on Samples Road. Am I correct in that? They didn't quickly throw up something, did they? So thank you. Katina. Been sick with a fever, says Christari. You know, she's had issues with the brain. Here, she's telling us she has a fever of 102. No clue why. So I'm sorry I haven't been on. Been working on these pages and playing Risk. Been in lots of tournaments. So I guess Risk is a game. I don't play any of those games, so I wouldn't know. So please continue to pray for Christari. She has life-threatening issues. Life-threatening issues. And let's see. Looks like Shella Durst. Welina would not slip up and call Bob Elvis after as many years as they have been married. Well, if he was, I think she would call him that, but not in the church. Excuse me. I usually remember to kill the mic when I do that instead of doing it in your ear. I apologize. Diane Thompson. I don't know if you're here tonight. In one of the recent shorts, Bob Joyce was asked about a song he said he heard in the early 50s. I think we have a video. It's called Bob Joyce Caught in a Trap, about 6,100 views. Check that out on my list. Bob Joyce Caught in a Trap. Heard about a song he had heard in the early 50s. Well, he could not have heard it because he says he was born in 1953. We have the video on that. We're just having fun with it. We're not trying to trap Pastor Bob Joyce, but you also have some kind of responsibility when you're the chronological storyteller. Blaine Harold, hello. He's one of my Facebook friends, and he emails sometimes. Blaine Harold, nice that you checked in. M. Silva, that's M. Silva from Texas. Home, well, one of my exes lives in Texas. Hi, all Jack. Missed the live, but she's watching now. God wins 620. Hello from Crestwood, Kentucky. God bless you. Thank you so much, God wins. Amen. He will be victorious. It may not look like it right now, but he will be victorious. We heard from Don Stribling. He's a creator. We have the same problem in the UFO world with the desperate need to provide content. I still watch Bob's sermons, and he says more. You can read it in the comments section, the replay section of our Wednesday night show. Good to see you, Don. I just know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the sky right here where I live. I mean, we don't live anywhere near a busy airport. We live fairly close to Stewart Airport, but they have a flight pattern, and it's not above this house. It's about 4 houses down. It's kind of an angle. So I can't tell you how many nights, if I stand out there, I may see something if it's not cloudy. I have a video. I got to find that video. I know I talk about it. I don't have the actual name of it. But I've seen drones. I've seen UFOs. That's all I can tell you. So there's something going on out there. So if you're really diligent, I think this spring and summer, get out there with a good camera, the best you can get, at least an iPhone camera if you have it. I only have an Android. If anyone has a iPhone in the drawer, you've replaced it and you put your old one in the drawer, and you would like to give that to me so I can shoot better video for our live broadcast, I would really appreciate that. So Jack the Fair Guy, F-A-I-R, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com, if that's you. Penny Lunsford checked in. I watched the recorded episode of your show. It's very interesting. Well, thank you, Penny Lane. Your name probably isn't Lane, your middle name. I can't say for certain because I truly do not know, but I would safely say, oh yeah, if it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, how about sings like a duck, and other oddities, it's probably a duck. And Rita, lovely Rita Maid, Elvis Presley's cousin. Oh yeah, a lot of you, I'm not going to say any more about this because I don't want to dive into this. I don't talk about Donna Presley here. I don't do content on her. I don't want to open up that door because I know where it could lead. I have no opinion on Donna Presley. Real Presley, not a real Presley. Telling the truth, not telling the truth. I have no, I have no opinion. Have not felt led to do that. Have not. Let's see. What else is going on? Who else has checked in? Gloria Drummond has from Jesus is the Only Answer channel. Yes, 2011 boom. That's right. I was talking about Denton's and Benton, right? See, nobody told me, Jack, you never finished that story because you probably know I've told the story before. Sandra Fair, and I will, do you ever get any explanation for what those things are in your skies? No, and I'm surprised I don't get more people talking about it. I look to see the video content here on YouTube, for example, and, I don't really see anything definitive. Maybe a thunderstorm coming up, maybe. I hear rumblings. I hear Bungle in the Jungle by Jethro Tull. So 2011 is when Matt Joyce, Elvis impersonator, did a concert. His dad was there. He called him up to sing. And it got to the point he wanted Dad to sing American Trilogy. Dad didn't want to sing American Trilogy. He was nervous. He was doing this with his ear a lot, which somebody else used to do. I can't remember their name. I think it was somebody flash in the pan artist. Oh, Elvis Costello. There's a flash in the pan. One hit. Come on. But he has a fan base. People liked his albums, so whatever. Every day now, every day now, every day I write the book. Okay, didn't do much for me. It ain't no when a man loves a woman, ain't like that, you know? It ain't no Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. Who was it that said the best pop song? Paul McCartney said the best pop song ever written. No, not a Beatles song. He said God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. God Only Knows. Love that song. I do, I do, I do. Not Twins. I don't agree. I mean, I agree with you, Elaine. They're who's not twins though? That Jesse was a twin, but he died at birth. You don't believe that, or you do? I'm coming into the middle of a conversation trying to figure it out. It's okay on my end. Why is Neo saying he's having problems? Remember, he has Larry's Cable Service and Grill. $9.99 a month. Larry's Cable Service and Grill. I believe in my personal banker to be an alien. Well, that's an interesting comment. Somebody, we ought to read the Dave Ramsey thing. Somebody sent me this. Oh, I know. It was Mike Candido, the drummer for Gary Puckett, posted this. What a cashless society would actually mean. I don't think we'll do it tonight, but it's almost worth doing it. But how about Wednesday night? We do that. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. East Coast time. Somewhere in the show, we'll talk about what Dave Ramsey said. Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me Adam Schiff is from this world. No, I don't believe it. There's a piece that Robert Stack did, not that he wrote it, when he was the host of Unsolved Mysteries, talking about twins and how a lot of what he's saying kind of reminded me of the movie The Identical. You know, The Identical. The people who believe Jesse is still alive point to that movie as not fiction, but fact. Three Severed Heads, my third favorite serial killer, is here. Number one is Dexter, always will be. Number two is Mr. Brooks with Kevin Costner. And number three is you, Three Severed Heads. My dog sees something in my bedroom. We had Kaz Reed. He was the only cat I used Karen's name, Reed. Gave him that name, Kaz Reed. He would be sitting on my lap and he would look above my head and he would be fascinated what he saw. I said, Kaz Reed, what do you see? I don't see anything. What do you see? He saw it. He saw it. Kaz Reed did. Oh, his death was very difficult for us. Some cats should not die, and Kaz was one of them. What a life he had. He didn't even live here in the summer. He left and went next door to the guy's house next door. He summered next door because it's magical over there with a garden and everything like that. We hardly saw him in the summer. It starts to get cold. Kaz came back, but he still go out every day. He had a full life. It's such a full life for a cat. Yeah. So I'm happy that we got a nice response to our last live show. If it doesn't get at least 1,000, I don't get anything for views at all. When you do new topics like I'm trying to do with the Suddenly 70s series, and there will be more Suddenly 70s videos, especially after this coming week, it's going to take months to find the audience. The algorithm is not going to pick it up, the people that would care about my Suddenly 70s series, and I think the two shows I've done are good. They're not going to know that I even did the video. It takes a while. With Bob Joyce, it didn't take long because I think we were doing something, and I still think we're doing something that others aren't doing, telling the chronological story as best we can. Neo, There are medications that would help you. That's all I can tell you. Don't be afraid to take them. In moderation, of course, but on a regular daily basis. What else can I do before we go to Tucker Carlson? Well, the actor, comedian who's portraying him on Saturday Night Live. Let's go to bobjoyce.org first and remind you, as I talk to you on Saturday night, the 16th, we are just 6 days away from Bob Joyce in concert in Cabot, Arkansas. I believe there's still some tickets left, not many. Some tickets left for Bob Joyce in concert. So act now. You know, if you see this further down the road, obviously, especially if it's past May 21st, say, it's going to be too late, baby. It's going to be too late, baby. It's too late. Pastor Bob Joyce will have a charity concert Friday evening, May 22nd, 2026, to benefit the ABC-FM Arkansas Baptist Children and Family Ministries at the First Baptist Church of Cabot at 204 North 3rd Street in Cabot, Arkansas, about 23 to 26 miles outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. You can fly into Little Rock and Uber your way there, I suppose, and probably stay there, and then a bunch of you get back in the Uber to go back to the airport. You could try that. And more details and ticket purchases can be found in the Facebook post at ABC-FM Benefit Concert with Pastor Bob Joyce /May 22nd. I think you can just click on here at bobjoyce.org. Let's see what happens when I do try that. Yeah, it takes me to that Facebook page. There it is. It's a whole page on Facebook, ABC-FM Benefit Concert with Pastor Bob Joyce. That's the name of the Facebook page. It tells you the directions and everything there. Of course, GPS will tell you that as well. And do they have a clickable link to that long cloud address? I don't know. Tells you how to do it, that's for sure. ABC-FM Benefit Concert with Pastor Bob Joyce. One person, I think it was Pam Donnelly, said they are going. So the only reason there's still tickets, all the VIP tickets are gone, but it's a big church. I don't think there's a bad seat in the house. The only reason that there's any tickets left is because that happens to be graduation weekend in Cabot. So that tied a lot of people up and gives a chance for the out-of-towners to grab a couple of tickets. All right. All right. Back to the live stream. And thank you, Tracy, by the cufflinks. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. $4.99 on the thanks button. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you for doing that. Well, I don't want to drink my calories, Neo, so I won't put half and half in there. I just put a little dash. Probably didn't finish that story either. I put basically 2% organic milk in my tea, as I like my tea lightened, and then I put just a little splash of half and half, say. And when I have my cereal, the only thing I tend to have is the Honey Nut Cheerios. I stay away from my very favorite cereal, which of course is Cinnamon Crunch. I also like Raisin Bran. Of course, that would be Will Schatz's version of Raisin Brand, Kellogg's Raisin Bland, or Brand. It's not bland, it's brand. And it's chock full of raisins. William Shatner, knows what he's talking about. I mean, as soon as we saw video of him in standstill traffic with a cereal bowl, and he's eating cereal, and a reporter said, "What were you eating?" And he said, "Kellogg's Raisin Bran." I said, "Well, this is Tuesday. By Friday, they'll be doing a commercial." And that's exactly what happened. Before you know it, Will Schatt is the spokesman for not just, he does the what's not Nabisco, it's Kellogg's, the shredded wheat, Kellogg's shredded wheat. He does that too. stuff that will get things moving, stuff like that. So, yeah, Will Shat. I like it. I love the commercial. There's more than one. Um, and he suddenly appears in this room of old ladies, and one is holding a dog, and he says to her, "Is that a Shih Tzu?" And she said, "Yeah." He says, "Perfect." He snaps his fingers and disappears. Well, thank you, Elaine Peterson. Let's see what compliment Tracy. Uh, I like to give a little something, and it really helps me. He uses his time to do this and digs up information and entertains us. I really enjoy being on here with everyone. That's so wonderful, Tracy. Here this late in my career. How late, I don't know, because I'll keep doing it, as long as I can. That's what Rush Limbaugh said when he knew he had terminal cancer. And before he signed off, I think in maybe it was December 22nd, 2021. He came back in 2022 for a while. He said, you can find this right here on YouTube. He said, I want to do this for as long as I want to, but I've got to be honest and tell you, there'll come a time when I can't do this anymore. And I can't begin to tell you people what you've meant to me, And of course, the lifestyle they gave him. He went from a struggling guy in medium market radio, but he knew that he had what it takes. And he, of course, said, talent on loan from God, with one hand tied behind my back, just to make it fair. And yes, he had to have other catchphrases. And in the early days, feminazis was one of them. He knew that would get liberals hot, and it did. But he was really actually a wonderful, wonderful man, Rush Limbaugh. Everybody that saw him personally, right up to the end, saw that he was a terrific person. The prodigal daughter is back. Not necessarily to talk to me, but she's back. You know who you are. You know who you are. TP. Talking to Pam Donnelly. That's Nonstick Pam. Cool. So what do we have? We have 75 watching right now and 48 likes. Very, very good. Jack, what's your take on the visitors out your window? I'm just not prepared to give you my best on that yet. But now the weather's getting warmer, and I'm going to be out there more, and I'm going to study more. And, you can't do something that's only a quarter baked, but I got to find that video so I can just, it's hard for you to find. There's 377 videos. Quite a show they put on for me in 2025. If somebody knows the title of that video, of my own video, let me know, because I don't. And it's not something that you easily find, because the views were not that great. Amazingly, it should have been one of my big ones. But if I would have said Bob Joyce was on that alien craft, or one of the 4 that I saw that night, mini ones, if I had said Bob Joyce was on one of them, it would have went through the roof. But I can't say that, of course. Jack had something with ballerina on his split screen for ads. Oh, really? Was she a hot ballerina? Let's see here. They're way more annoying, the split screen ad, says Helen from Aussie land. Never seen that. I've never seen that on someone else's channel either. Of course, Bald and Broke, he doesn't go. You got to start doing more lives, Bald and Broke. If you're watching, just in case you are, you've got a talent for it. Don't think that you did a lousy job when you did your first and only live, unless you do one tomorrow. Do another one. I could tell the people liked you. And you're going to get a few people that don't. That's okay. You can sometimes have fun with them. They become obnoxious. You take them off. You just take them off. You erase them from the surface of the earth. Like Michael Savage would do, Yeah. Yeah, baby. Because the audience will tell you that's what they want. Get rid of that guy, will you? Get rid of that guy. Don't want that guy. He's ruining our patty. He's no fun at the patty. He's the guy who double dips all the time, with the with a cracker in his hand, he double dips the onion dip or something like that. If it's blue cheese dip, he can double dip as much as he wants because I don't like blue cheese. You either love it or you hate it. There's no in between. There's no in between three severed heads. Hit the like. Please do. Likes help me too. I don't know exactly how, but I think it can help more people see this in post or what have you. And of course, subscribers. When I reach let's get to 1,200 subscribers. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I'd like to get to 1,200. I mean, Bald and Broke came in, and it wasn't that long ago. He had 6,000, and now he's got 12,500. Roll right over me like a steamroller, baby. Bald and Broke rolled all over me. But do more lives because, the challenge after a while is going to be now, what can I say that I haven't said already many times, That becomes an issue, but there's other stuff you can talk about. God has given you a real gift, Bald and Broke. He's given you a real gift, and I'm giving you a real plug. There I am. You don't speak in incoherent gibberish like somebody else I know, presenting possibilities that aren't the likely. So let's laugh for a while. We're very sad that Tucker Carlson has gone the route that he has gone. Candace Owens is in a whole, in my humble opinion, is at a whole other level of debauchery, in my feeling. Megyn Kelly now is joining in the mix, and they're finding that they may have lost their Republican audience, the MAGA audience, I should say specifically. You say they're one and the same, not necessarily, but they may have lost that, but now they got all the conspiracy people and the people who, of course, who hate Trump. So they're still doing well in that sense. But the very people that Tucker now has in his audience are not the people he wants, not the people that he would agree with in most cases. But you got them now. So start telling us how Jim Morrison is still alive. Why don't you? So they will say he is. So Weekend Update has got this guy, Jeremy Culhane, right? And he is hilarious doing Tucker Carlson. Hilarious. You don't want to miss one. You can see the replay. You don't have to watch Saturday Night Live. You can see just a skit. The replays on YouTube are getting like 2 million plus views at least. So let's listen to Jeremy do Tucker Carlson, introduced by see, this is where you see the struggle sometimes. Jost, Colin Jost, married to that actress, whatever her name is.
While many are excited for the Oscars tomorrow, some people think liberal politics are influencing the awards too much. Here with his take is conservative commentator Tucker Carlson.
Let's all go to the movies. Huh? Really? Yes. Why don't we grab some popcorn and watch American culture collapse? What are we doing? What's going on?
All right, coming in hot. Well, how do you feel about this year's nominees?
Where to even begin? Oh, I know. Why don't we talk about Sinners? That's right, Sinners. Because, of course, leftist woke America's favorite movie this year is about sinning. Huh? Why does that not surprise me? No, sorry, kids. We don't go to church anymore. We go to Sinners. That's the rule. That's the goal now. What are we doing? What's going on?
Oh, okay. All right, so you didn't like Sinners. You didn't like Sinners. What about Hamnet?
Oh, Hamnet. Because we're not allowed to say Hamlet anymore.
No.
They took the L and gave it to the GBTQ.
No.
So it's Hamnet now. What are we doing? What's going on? Hamnet, a movie about a boy who shows interest in theater, dies. I actually really like that part.
That's the part you like?
Excuse me. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey, excuse me.
No one is interrupting you.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Just moving on to Begonia. Huh. Really? I guess heterosexual women aren't allowed to have hair anymore. They have to shave their heads instead of their armpits. And I'm supposed to be attracted to that?
No.
Oh, boys, don't look at my breasts. Look at my scalp. That's the rule. That's the goal now.
You keep talking about a goal. What goal?
Colin, whatever happened to the great American films? Like Gone with the Wind or the first 20 minutes of Forrest Gump?
The first 20 minutes? You mean the part where they're bullying him?
I love that part.
Man, dude, I gotta tell you, that laugh is just awful.
That's not my laugh. That's the soul of an 18th century mental patient trying to escape from this locket.
Why do you have that?
And finally, one battle after another. What is this? What's going on? I'm genuinely asking. I did not see that movie.
Tucker Carlson, everyone.
That guy's a keeper. He's a gem. Jeremy Culhane, everyone. Watch him on Saturday Night Live. All right. You'll see the replay, Neil, because I know you're that dedicated. I never saw Chucky. That would not be a kind of movie I would say, let me see Chucky. Every Halloween at Brother Bruno's authentic New York Italian pizzeria, there's Chucky with his knife on display for all to see. That's the only Chucky I see every year come, say, very late September through Halloween. Okay, well, thanks for stopping and email me that link for that report, little angel. Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR @gmail.com. Well, at least you like that. Good. We're hitting the mark there. That guy is incredible. And he's got, of course, there's more. There's other ones that he's done. I won't try to figure out your humor, especially in midstream there, Neil. There's 76 watching. Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. That would help. I love it when I look at the stats from the show and I see subscribers have gone up. That helps me tremendously. More subscribers. Let's get to 1,200 and not have it take a million years. I mean, I'd wait a million years, cry a million tears just to be near you, whatever. The grassroots hit. And let me see here. Anybody new come on? There's a lot of people missing, but a lot of our other souls that are usually here. And again, thank you, Tracy, for hitting the thanks button. Thank you, Miles Wright. And thank you, 3 Severed Heads. I don't know if I got that one. 3 Severed Heads in Taxi Cab Yellow, $10 on the thanks button. You've done that before, like maybe last Wednesday, and I appreciate that so much. $2, $3, that's fine too on the thanks button. And thank you, Miles Wright. Thank you, 3 Severed Heads. And thank you, Tracy, $4.99 on the thanks button in beautiful turquoise. Yeah, that's like a Miami Vice color, right? I told the story once about I used to do high-end security at a place called Woodbury Common in, well, where is it? Is it Harriman, or is it? It's close to Central Valley. I know that. And it's this big complex of high-end stores, but it's discount rates because it's the outlet stores. So in the Chanel store, you can buy a pocketbook for $1,200 instead of $2,400 because it's not the current model of Chanel pocketbook. And Asian women, I might as well be honest, I did the high-end security there. Asian women would come in, see $1,200. I buy two. Yeah. There was this woman, and she wasn't Asian, that came in all the time. And the woman must have spent every time she was Asian. I take it back. She must have spent easily 10 grand every time she came in the store on a Saturday. 10 grand easy. Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. How do you wear all that stuff? How many pocketbooks do you really need, or shoes? That was another biggie. Yeah. Yes, Tracy. Tomatoes have lycopene and potassium along with vitamin C. Now, in that particular case, Neo, never been able to pronounce your full name or understand why you use it. Never really explained that, have you? They say that's one food you don't. I mean, you're going to eat it raw because on your sub sandwich or whatever, but it's actually better for you when you heat it up a little bit. That releases the lycopene and the potassium, etc. Sandra Fair hits the thanks button in Taxi Cab Yellow for $10. Thank you, Sandra Fair. You frequently do that. You've upped your amount this week. I noticed that. And I assume that's well within your budget. Wouldn't want you to do it if you can't. And thank you. Thank you. Tracy says, I love shoes, Jack. You can't have too many shoes. Women definitely feel that. I've known a number of women, of course, are famous people. What's the most famous one on television? I'll give you a chance to answer. The most famous, guess it was a character, but I think it also applies to the actress in real life who was obsessed with shoes. Karen loves this actress. I love her husband far more than I love her. The producers did a bigger movie than that, with Jason Robards. I remember that. Can't pull it out of my head. Shoe salesman Al Bundy. That reminds me, Neo. Sarah Jessica Parker. You are correct, Elaine. Sarah Jessica Parker, or specifically her character on Sex in the City. Yes. Al Bundy. I always remember the episode with Jerry Mathers, who's still trucking there in his 80s. Beaver is still popular. Beaver is still popular. Have you noticed? And he does a lot of podcasts and things like that. But he did an episode of Married with Children. And we all know that Al Bundy was a shoe salesman. That was his character's job. So his son, what was his name? Skipper or whatever his name was on there. You would know, Neil. Was writing him about Jerry Mathers' life and how he has to make a living. And Jerry Mathers says, okay. Yes, I have to eke out a living by going to fan conventions and opening up lumber stores and clothing stores and cutting ribbons and things like that. But at least my dad doesn't sell women's shoes. And with that, Al Bundy's son just hangs his head and walks away. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. Bud Bundy, huh? Yeah. Bud Bundy. The other thing I remember, because I wasn't a regular viewer of the show, was Bud is in a bedroom that adjoins the bathroom, and he's got they're having company that's going to be coming, and he is drilling a peephole in the floor. He's kneeling down to do it, and he's got the drill, and his father catches him, and he says, "Oh, son, that's low. That's low." And he says, "I'm sorry, Dad." And he says, "No, I mean, it's low. All you're going to see are shoes." Oh, dear. Let's get our mind out of that. Yeah, baby. So I think we've done most of our content, right? We've told you about Cabot. Don't forget, I'll remind you one more time Wednesday, but they could be sold out Wednesday. To get your tickets for Cabot, Arkansas, go to bobjoyce.org, bobjoyce.org. Also, go to bobjoycemusic.com, bobjoycemusic.com. Sign up. Only $9.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. You will get Pastor Bob's monthly blog. I think it's monthly that he writes, his personal blog. You'll get exclusive video performances in their entirety, not just a clip on YouTube. You'll get them in their entirety, and other things that they put up, other people. So you'll get to the merch store that way. So bobjoycemusic.com, bobjoycemusic.com. And I told you there's going to be at least 3 concerts this year. And so pretty soon we'll be telling you about the next one. But right now it's all about Cabot, Arkansas, May 22nd at the Baptist Church there. Go to bobjoyce.org to secure a pair of the last tickets that are available. Okay. Don't miss next Saturday's show. I assume I'll be able to do one. If not, I'd do it on Sunday, God willing. Always have to say that, God willing. But it'll be that kind of thing. Let me just tell you, when I was at WVOS-FM, we were near Bethel Woods, the original Woodstock site, which was not in Woodstock, but in Bethel, New York. Nothing happened in Woodstock, not there. Other things it's famous for, but it was Yasgur's Farms in Bethel, and you can see the original site when you're at Bethel Woods up the hill, but that's not where they have their venue where people perform. Like who's coming this year? Oh, they got quite a few shows. They got Toto with the Romantics and Christopher Cross himself. That's all in one show, and many other shows that they're doing at Bethel Woods. But when I was DJing in 2010 or 11 at WVOS-FM, we got the word that Elton John was going to come to Bethel Woods for the first time. And I was going to get to announce it on my afternoon show and then play an Elton John song. I don't know that the program director appreciated me doing that, but that's just common sense programming. You can't tell people Elton John is coming and not follow with an Elton John song. With the program director, all he cared about was that you were violating his format, so what can I tell you? Sometimes, you got to say, yeah, I understood why you did that, because, the audience wanted that. Do you care what the audience wants, or do you just care about doing your own thing? Anyway, and that's just a question. I'm just not an accusation. That's a question. So I got to announce that tickets were going on sale in I think an hour's time. Tickets would go on sale for Elton John. And I made sure I emphasized this. I said, folks, this is Elton John. This is Elton John, the legend. They're not going to be around for very long. When they go on sale, try your best to get a couple of tickets. The whole thing was sold out in 13 minutes. 13 minutes for Elton John at Bethel Woods. A lot of disappointed people. And they sold as many as they could going way back in the field, but still, it's Elton John. So I'm not saying this will be exactly like that, but it'll be not easy. That's all I can say. I can't be any less cryptic. I'm sorry. Jack, I've emailed a video and did not see the, now I got to figure out an abbreviation, the ORB that scared my dog. A pic of the frame I only noticed after rewatching the short video. All right. Hopefully I can figure that out when I look at it. Probably be tomorrow, because after this, I got to go feed the birthday cats. I sang to them last night out there on the back porch. I sang happy birthday. They are 1 year old. And mom was there too. I congratulated her, reminded them, that she had just become a mother for the first time, I think, this time last year. She looked at me like I was nuts, but whatever. Good night, everyone, says Tammy with an eye. Thank you again for hitting the Cash App. I really appreciate that. I have to get some sleep for church in the morning, praying for everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 65 watching and 60 likes. Yes, please, more likes, and please more people subscribing if you haven't subscribed already. So thank you, Sandra Fair, Miles Wright, 3 Severed Heads, and Tracy for hitting the thanks button. Still time for you to do it for any amount at all. Or hello, replay audience. We don't hear much from the replay audience in terms of that. You can do it too. If you can't find the thanks button in the video you're watching, this one, go to another recent video, click ask, and that should lead to the thanks button. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, now I see your real name. I got it. All right, I will look at that. Thank you. And look at that. Another Cash App person. First of all, we thank again Elaine Peterson, $10 on the Cash App. Tammy Griffin, $25 on the Cash App. And Nanette comes in at $10 on the Cash App. She does that a lot for love the picture of your on the mic. Yes. Who is that man? I can't. He looks like somebody too. I rack my brain trying to figure this out, since 2018. But thank you for $10, Nanette, who obviously goes by a completely different name when she comes here. She goes by Charlena Manson. And T.S. Spencer for Hire, who said he's got a respiratory infection. So we're going to remember to pray for T.S., I call him. Pray for T.S., respiratory infection. Pray for Chris Starry, who has a life-threatening illness. More than one thing wrong with her, too. Don't hear from Adam Davidson anymore. I don't know how he's doing. Don't know how... oh, boy. See, they don't come on for a long time, and I use that as an excuse for not remembering their name. Pray for Christari. Pray for T.S. Pray for Katina's tendinitis. Brenda Sweeney has had multiple issues with her rotator cuff and family issues too. And pray for Matt Lamont. Am I saying that right? Matt Lamont was the guy who drove the yellow car in American Graffiti. He's been in the rehabilitation center for quite some time. He's had respiratory issues, etc. And he's on Facebook. Paul Lamont. Paul Lamont. And he does content all the time from the rehabilitation center. And the TS hits the thanks button for $12.87. Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you. As usual, I'm running out of voice. I couldn't do a 4-hour talk show, could I? Or a 3-hour talk show like Clay and Buck or Sean Hannity. So my Cash App handle is MediaGuy56, lowercase letters, MEDIAGUY, the numbers 56, MediaGuy56. Exercise matters when you have dementia or Alzheimer's. It matters very much. And was it you, Elaine, that says you have subscribed to Eric Berg here on YouTube? I don't endorse him because I don't know enough about him, but he was saying some good things in the videos I saw on brain function, and I mailed you that information you wanted. We talked about it on the Wednesday show, what Dr. Eric Berg says, what supplements to take. Even if you don't have Alzheimer's or early Alzheimer's, whatever, you never know. As you get older, it can come on fairly quick if you get the kind Bruce Willis has, and that's the kind that Carolyn Mullins has. That's another one. Pray for Carolyn Mullins. She has the frontal lobe form, which Bruce Willis has. But she was responding to medication. We could talk about the medications. Are they effective or are they not? Carolyn says what she was taking was. Hope she comes back. Back to the live stream. So thank you, Sandra, again, and everybody else. Huge loaf of bread on Lucy. I'm definitely in the middle of that conversation. Is that Lucy from Peanuts? You lughead, Charlie Brown. Yeah, do that. I think you'll like him. He also, no surprise here, has a full line of those supplements he talks about available for purchase. I feel like I'm in the movie Joe Dirt, and they've got all the clowns and Joe Dirt's parents who left him at left him at the Grand Canyon, and they finally admit, all right, we didn't just lose you, we left you. All right. But they're trying to do their clown commercial because the national media is covering Joe Dirt, who's become kind of famous looking for his parents. And they got all these clowns, and they start doing a clown commercial. They're available for purchase. They're available for purchase. That's good stuff right there. The bread episode, Neo, on I Love Lucy is classic. Yes, I don't know how they did that either. Think about it. It was the 50s. 55 million people watching the show every week. And I think it was live most of the time. 55 million people. So much so that businesses that had events scheduled, or churches, events scheduled for Monday night had to go to another night because everybody was home watching I Love Lucy. Or you can turn the autocorrect off. I never found out how to do that. Let us know how to do that because it annoys me. I write the name Mabel and it turns it to table, and I don't see it and I send table. Because it'll let you, there's a choice that you can just click on Mabel after you've written it, and it'll come up Mabel in your posting. Dadgum, now you remind me of that congressman who I love so much with the glasses, who's always saying dadgum, and he's very big on the aliens. Who am I talking about, guys? He's the one who's always telling you that there's been a lot released, and he tells you he has seen them, and he tells you there's a lot more to know about the UFO subject. That is Congressman Tim Burchett. Tim Burchett. If you also, I appreciate you for hitting the Cash App. Jerry Mathers made an appearance on I Love Lucy. He must have been very young, because on Beaver, that was in the 60s. So he'd have to be a baby. I don't know. But Tim Burchett is a great man, and he is being outspent by the progressives in his state. So whether you live in his state or not, what state is that? Is it Tennessee? I don't know. But go to Tim Burchett's, I'm sure you can find it, Tim Burchett's website. If you care about the the conservative agenda and give Tim Burchett a few bucks, because he really needs that. He really needs that. So we can get rid of some of these. All right. And back we are to the live stream. Yeah, I know you were talking about I Love Lucy, the bread. So what would you like me to say about it, Neo? That is a great episode, as is the grape stomping episode. It was Lucy's idea to that Lucy would lose an earring and she would have to crawl in the grapes. Tim Burchett from Tennessee, what a terrific gentleman he is. And he knows a lot about UFOs. He does. He's too big of a name for me to get on here. We don't have enough people, I don't think. Yeah. Let's do prayer. And you can add your name to the list in the replay or here. And people will know to pray for you. Hopefully those that pray will pray for you. Lord, we lift up TS with his respiratory infection. We lift up Christari, who has brain disease, all kinds of challenges in her body. We lift up Katina with tendonitis, Brenda Sweeney recovering a rotator cuff surgery, Carolyn Mullins. We pray that you touch her in her brain, bring the heat of the great physician that you are. Heal her even now, Lord, from the top of her head to the soles of her feet. We pray that for all these people mentioned and those that we didn't mention, but you know exactly what their issue is. We just give you all the glory. No man is the healer, only you are. We ask for this. I ask for continued healing for Karen after her shots, and for my son and my daughter. You know what their needs are. My grandchildren. Don't want to say their names because I don't think I'm allowed to. And pray for my exes, including the mother of my children. I ask that you be with them. You know exactly what their needs are. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Pray for Paul Lamont from American Graffiti and other things, of course. Yeah. So let's put on the Walmart readers and read something from the Word of God. 66 watching right now. Yeah, this is about the time that we've been coming in on for the most part. From 1 Corinthians, the first chapter in the NIV, starting with verse 6. We do, however, speak a message of wisdom, says Paul to the Corinthians, among the mature, but not the wisdom of this age or of the rulers of this age who are coming to nothing. No, we speak of God's secret wisdom, a wisdom that has been hidden and that God destined for our glory before time began. None of the rulers of this age understood it, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. However, as it is written, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. From 1 Corinthians, the first chapter. Good night, Bayou Girl. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Neo. Elaine Peterson, thank you so much. Thank you, Three Severed Heads. Gloria Drummond, good night, family. Going to bed. Love you all. Hugs and kisses. Robin Roman. T.S. was here earlier. Jupiter's Realm. Jackie Organ. Helen McDonald from Australia. And a lot of our friends weren't here tonight, but still others filled in, and that is really great. Tracy, thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for what you did. And even Angel, little Angel, I guess. Yes. Like Tucker Carlson. Sandra Fair, thank you for hitting the thanks button for $10, and thank you for just being here. Thank you, little Angel. Yeah. Jupiter's Realm, if I didn't say that. And if you came in early, I might not see you on this list. It won't go back that far. Miles Wright, Judy Wright. Rita, lovely Rita Mae, Tammy with an I. And there you go. If I missed you, it wasn't intentional, I assure you. That's Worldwide Ramblings for a Saturday night. Remember, 6 days left or less. Probably could be sold out. Go to bobjoyce.org to get your tickets for Cabot, Arkansas. Pastor Bob Joyce in concert next Friday night. It'll be wonderful. So take advantage of this opportunity as they have graduation weekend at same time in Cabot, Arkansas. My name is Jack Willard. Talk to you soon, probably Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, if not sooner. Always look for pre-recorded videos. You can do that by having your notification bell on. Subscribe, please. Like and hit the notification bell. Talk to you soon.